Tommy Reynolds has his gun out. He's pointing the gun, and all of a sudden, I see this woman.
They say it's on every single station. They're saying that Daddy died.
I don't think his life ended at Holston's that night.
If it wasn't for Sopranos, I don't know if I'd be here, you know.
My first thing, and I'm with these legends, De Niro.
One night I jumped out of a car doing 60 miles an hour because I was addicted.
Salute, Mob 2.
Salute, MobTube. How's everybody doing tonight? All right. I have some things I want to address and talk about. I will get to that. For some reason, I'm losing my voice, apparently. I'll get to that in a few minutes, but first I'm going to do some shout-outs. Why am I losing my voice? What the fuck? I have no idea. See how that goes. Miss Can't Be Wrong, Dave, Angela's Right Nuts, South Philly Tony, Jesse Roth, Mini 560, Brutally Brittany, Sally, $20. Hey FBS, I'll be out of chat but listening. That's cool, Sally. I'm glad you'll at least be listening, and thank you for the $20. Thank you very much. Arthur Stewell. Did I shout out Albaz? Albaz? I don't think I did. Jane Creek? Dude. Marie? Or is that Mary? Not sure how you want that pronounced. That's Fax B, Izzo. OC, what up? John DeLong. Hey now. Hold on one second. I want to make sure I don't make a fatal mistake here. Did I miss Antonino? If I did, holy shit. Sorry, buddy. How you doing? Good to have you here as always. Benny Diova. Danny Green, $20. Let's get this shit started, people. FBS on... Boy, I'm having issues tonight. Jesus, fuck. Danny Green, $20. Let's get this shit started, people. FBS entertains us and takes so much heat. Let's show him the love. Match, people. Come on. Thank you, Danny Green. And you are right about everything you said there. Now, as you guys know, Danny Green is one of the biggest sponsors of the show. And if he says match, surely you want to listen to him and do what he says. Edward Everett, Nicosia Connection. I'm still the only one that pronounces that right. It only took me like a year, but I finally got it. Haunted Ghost Tube Dana. Hey, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Very good to have you here. Boy, it's moving slow. What the fuck is going on? Is there other shit on or something, or is it just the algorithm? This is odd. This doesn't happen. Donations are welcomed and appreciated. That's right, Miss Can't Be Wrong. So I'll get started like this. I just want to make something clear because of the community post I put up last night. I'm not mad. Oh, shit. Antonino, $20 matched. Thank you, bro. Thank you very much, Maverick. Good evening. All right, maybe I'll give it a second now. Let me see. It's the algorithm. Oh. Well, I didn't schedule the show very far ahead, and I knew I was going to do it around this time, but I'm just not good with that, you know? I'm not good with it. 93 people. I'll start like this. The post I put up yesterday, okay, I'm not mad at a stand-up guy at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad. It was a silly contest, you know. Nobody could do that and get honest answers, you know? Nobody. Because there's people who are biased against everyone, you know? And a lot of people in his chat hate my fucking guts. Plus, I saw the trolls coming out of the woodwork. You know, it's I understand why he was doing it for a little fun and entertainment. but none of that can be taken seriously. And I only put up that post because every now and then I got to remind people. And that's why the only reason I got slightly irritated is because I can't stand even hearing my name in the same sentences as some of those fucking misfits. You know what I'm saying? We are not the same on here. No, of course not. No, I understand what he was doing, but he had to know that was the answer he was going to get. Like, stand-up guy had to know that. You know what I'm saying? I've been the most hated, well, I won't say most hated, the most hated on individual since the day I started. You know what I'm saying? I'm obviously not the most hated because I have the biggest audience and my subscribers actually love and care about me. So I would say there's more of a chance of me being the most loved, but who really cares? If you're doing well in life, there's people that are going to hate you. Okay. If you're a fuck up or if you ain't shit, you know, you'll have all the friends in the world. I was never here to make friends. I was here to make money, and I still am. But I have made some good friends. Many, many people in this chat and many others, you know. So it wasn't, you know, it wasn't like, I don't care, you know, he was trying to have fun. I know, but you know, this is what I would have said if I was stand-up guy. I would have said, okay, no more votes for FBS because that's ridiculous. Okay. Cause sometimes I got to remind people, and I'll do it again. Yeah, I know. Trust me. I know. There's nobody on here you can compare to me. Okay. If that sounds cocky or arrogant, that's fine, but it's the truth. It's not cocky or arrogant. It's the truth. Ask RJ Roger about me and what I accomplished on here. You know, even ask Jeff. Ask anybody who's going to be honest about it. All right. You know how many fucking channels I helped get monetized? You know how many channels I helped blow up? You know what I'm saying? I mean, not to mention mine. You know, I was fucking monetized 12 days. Well, 12 days after I started my channel, I got 1,000 subs. 3 days later, whatever it was, on the 15th, I believe, I was fully monetized. Okay, so 15 days till monetization. And I've brought every fucking thing to this. You name it. Name a guy who's on MobTube talking on a regular basis, okay? Like not a content creator, but many of the guests. They started out on my show. Some of the content creators did too. You know what I'm saying? I brought you guys interviews with actors from all of the mob movies, not just some, okay? We started with Lilo Brancato. We had Patrick Borriello and his brother Bobby Jr., Joseph D'Onofrio, Louis Venaria. I always forget people. Robert Funaro. Did I say Robert Funaro? I'm not sure, but he was in 68 episodes of The fucking Sopranos. AJ from The Sopranos, one of the stars. Okay, at one time, one of the most famous people in the world, without a doubt. Vincent Piazza, he played Lucky Luciano in Boardwalk Empire. He was in Jersey Boys. The movie made $70 million fucking dollars. He played Thomas Uva in The Wannabe. You know, and I know I'm leaving out a ton of fucking actors because I always do. All right, but then even the mob guys that are on here, they started out on my show. You name one, and I'll tell you where they started, and it was on my show. Okay, so even those guys that you hear from, you know, they started out over here. And I've interviewed everybody. Okay, I also brought you a lot of them, like Anthony Arulata, Ori Spado, Howie. Of course, I never really formally interviewed him, but, you know, he started on this show. Frank, I'm not sure about, but, you know, for the majority of his time in the beginning, he was on this fucking show. Bill Catolo Jr. Okay, I brought you a fucking world-class interview with fucking Jimmy Calandra that I think has somewhere around 50,000 views now. Bitch, I am the one who debated Raymundi and squashed him like a fucking bug, and I have well over 50,000 views on that, and people comment on it every single fucking day. All right. Don't forget the things I've done on here. Do not. Not to even mention my own stories, the mob content. Okay. Little things like the DJ videos. We've done entire shows just about music, shit like that. The addiction and recovery, which you could ask the people who watch those shows and participate in the chat. And many of you will tell them, many of them will tell you that those shows saved their lives. Okay. I get emails like that every now and then. Not all the time, but every now and then I get emails like that tell me, this shit saved my life, or I use this instead of AA meetings now, and people gain comfort out of those shows, and it's a form of therapy, and the chat all participates and fucking supports each other and has each other's backs, and this is just some of this shit. This is just the most classic moments in fucking MobTube history. The fucking exposures. The actual exposures, the research, the work that went into that type of shit, the work that went into the fucking interviews and everything else, please. Okay, you're fucking talking about Tony Pizza, Johnny Mac, fucking MRE, people like this. You got to be out of your fucking mind. There's no comparison between me and any of these guys. That's why I am who I am on here. Okay, I'm in a league of my fucking own. Till this day, nobody on here has done nearly what I have. Has accomplished as much. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? So it was absurd. It was absurd to even have me as one of the choices or options. Stupid. Who can you compare me to? Who's done what I've done? Who does what I do now? Who will come on here and spill their fucking guts, cry, tell you about their fucking life, everything that's going on? Come on here after I got jumped all bloody and don't give a fuck. Do shows with gaping fucking wounds from plastic surgery on my fucking head. You know everything about me. I don't hide. And there is not another motherfucker, tell me I'm wrong, that will sit here with his face on fucking camera, come up with shit to talk about, and entertain people for hours at a fucking time, usually twice a day, almost every day since I've been on here. Can always hold an audience. Gets the most live viewers. Makes the most money, hands fucking down. There's nobody who even comes to a close second. Nobody. Okay? So it's absurd, and I laugh at it, but at the same time, it's like, well, okay, I'm going to defend myself a little bit. And remind people of some things. If that sounds cocky or arrogant, fine. Guess what? I earned the fucking right to be cocky and arrogant. I did. My fucking, second month on here, I started doing fucking phenomenal interviews with mob guys, with fucking actors. Come on. I brought so much to the table with the addiction and recovery. I've done fantastic mob content, and all these guys you see on here, Gene Borello, you name them. Okay. They've all been on my show more than anyone else's. And a lot of the time I helped them get on other people's shows. I helped other people to have those guys on their shows, so, it's just, people crack me up. So people have such a short fucking memory. No, I know Thorn Blade Slash. I know. That's why I said I'm not mad. I'm certainly not mad at Stand Up Guy. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I heard he kind of even stood up for me. Yeah, I'm sure Mini 560. I know. I didn't listen to much of it. This is what happened. I was listening to Stand Up Guy's show live, and then I don't know. I forget what they were talking about, but I thought, let me go back to the beginning. And I didn't go the whole way back to the beginning, but well, maybe I did, because it was around the time where he started taking votes on that shit. And I'm listening to this, and I'm like, you're not serious, right? Like, to even count a vote with my fucking name. Please. And guys, you're about to see some new shit. Okay? Because when I get fucking focused, you see what I can accomplish. I'm going to have some guests soon. Okay? I'll just tell you that. Some might surprise you, but I'm sure you'll enjoy the people I start having on here. Okay? I'm very good, with talking to people and getting myself interviews and things like that. I'm very, very good. So when I decide to go back to that, I'm going to show people all over again. You just can't fuck with me. Do not put yourself in my fucking category or on my level. I don't care who you are. You're not. I don't care. Okay. There's people on here who are great. They're great content creators. Okay. But you haven't earned the right yet to compare yourself to me. What else was I going to say? I just had on my mind. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. The person who just texted me. What else did I have on my mind about that? I forget. There was something else I wanted to say. I don't remember now. Yes, Bill Catolo. Yeah. There was some other people I just wanted to mention, and I can't. Oh, well. I don't know if I want to get into that yet. Let me think about that first. But anyway, last night I put together, okay, I was instead of watching fucking movies or some shit, I was working on, because this thing that went on last night, this stupid contest, it made me think, and I was like, I should, finally get some of the most classic clips from my show and make like a compilation, put some music to them, whatever. I am not no Jerry the Art guy. I don't know how to do fucking intros and all that. I wish I did. I wish somebody would show me what fucking program to use. I guarantee I can make some dope shit. I don't even know where to go with it to get started. But I know how to do a little bit of editing. And, I put something together last night. And of course, I wanted to show you guys this shit today. But can't upload it from your phone, and I don't know how to get it onto my computer from my phone, so who knows? This is another fucking stupid challenge. StreamYard sucks when it comes to that shit. Don Chico Di Pozzalo, is that right? Pozzalo? Good afternoon, FBS, and all great shows. Thank you, Don. Thank you very much. If you're new, welcome. Sally, $5. Half match, please match me. Well, there you go. I mean, as you guys know, Sally is one of the biggest sponsors of this show. So if she says match, it's pissing me off because there was something on my mind while I was talking, and I forgot to bring it up. But hopefully it'll come to me. No. I don't think Stand Up Guy did. I heard he even kind of stood up for me for a while. That's why I said I'm not mad at him. I put that up last night because, of course, like if people want to say that shit, then I'm going to fucking defend myself, remind everybody. To say that I'm the worst content creator on here is the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard. You got people like Tony Peets, people who just from beginning to end, all they've ever done was sat here and talk shit about other people. That's all they've ever done. I don't care if I did fucking 800 shows that are like that. I did another 400 that aren't. Okay, easy. Got about 12 videos, 3.6 million fucking views. All right, so it's stupid. I'm the only person, and I repeat, the only person who has ever proven that he can hold a substantial audience, a significant number of people, I guess you could say, compared to others. I could hold their attention talking about any fucking thing. And I've done other shit. Show me a channel who's done something different. Everybody attacks each other all the time, which is cool. It's the greatest entertainment out there, without a doubt. But I've proved over and over again the different types of shit I could do. There's people on here who could be talking mob shit and have a panel and can't keep 80 fucking people. But I could do a show about addiction and recovery and keep more than that. You know what I'm saying? I can come on here and talk about fucking hip hop, sneakers, whatever. I've proven it. I've done true crime as well. And some fantastic fucking true crime shows. I even forget stuff. So I might be the only person on here who's ever really created fucking content. Everybody else, they talk and they're flipping out on people, which is fine. It's entertaining as fuck. But don't put yourself in my category when I've done all the things I've done. Okay? Don't. Because I worked my ass off on a lot of my fucking shows. And I'm going to get back to that, and you're going to see all over again. We are the Troll Patrol. Let me see. I don't know. What do you mean, Nicosia connection? Not sure. Shane Smith, hello. Yeah, there you go. Nicosia connection. According to Lee, yes, he can't take it back. He has said before that I have the it factor. He has. And by the way, another thing, and this is extremely important, okay, because I pride myself on the fact that I do my show. My show, I owe nothing to any fucking one. Okay. Even most of my interviews I got by reaching out to actors, to mob guys, and getting them on here. Okay. Have I had help here and there? Angel got me one interview. And then off that interview, I was able to talk to Patrick, and then he hooked me up with the next one. And then I talked to that guy, and he hooked me up with the next one. John DeLuca helped me with Robert Eiler, stuff like that. But I don't have a co-host. I don't have a panel of people every fucking night. I can do these shows on my own, just talking by myself without any assistance from anyone to help me, fill up time or any of that shit or create conversation for me. I don't, if I do an interview, I'm interviewing the person. I'm not having my partner interview them. Okay. I don't have to do a mob show and start asking the guy on the screen with me questions because I don't know shit. I do this shit by my fucking self, and I don't have help from anyone, and I don't want help from anyone, and I certainly don't need help from anyone. Okay, so everything I've done on here, I owe nobody for. Okay, it was through my fucking dedication and hard work. Everything. So, I don't ever have to say like, oh, I feel bad. Should I split my money with this person? Or, could I do this on my own if this person walked away from me? No, I don't want to sit here and know that every guest I got is being handed to me by someone who's doing the show with me, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't. And even the people that helped me out with interviews and stuff. These are people who I networked with and built friendships with, and they did that shit for me because they wanted to see me do well. But people like Robert Funaro, I did that shit on my own. Let's see. Lilo, I reached out to on my own. Of course, Jimmy, Aralata, Ori Spado. Nobody helped me with any of this shit. Okay. And some of the smaller actors as well. Even Robert Eiler, weeks of negotiation with his fucking agent, but John did help me get him. Vincent Piazza, networking. I interviewed Joe Perino, and Joe Perino mentioned during the interview that he's very good friends with Vincent Piazza, and I got a hold of him after the show, and I said, bro, if you wouldn't mind, could you put in a good word with me for me with Vincent? So I don't owe shit to any fucking buddy, and I'm one of the only channels. I don't know how many else can say that. I don't know how many other channels can say that else. Sorry. But I can. I can. And I don't need fucking visual aids. I don't need fucking, to play somebody's video and comment over it. I don't need any assistance. I've proven that I can come on here, pick a topic, talk about it, and people will listen and they'll donate and every fucking thing else. So don't ever put me in a category with anyone else on fucking MobTube. Okay. The next best person, as far as the rants and the verbal skills and the roasting and shit, is stand-up guy. Without a fucking doubt. Okay? And he's good. He could talk and talk and talk and talk, and people will listen. He could go for hours. But there's not many people like that on here. Everybody needs fucking help from someone. They dropped the link 5 minutes into the fucking show, so they have to, fucking 15 people on the screen. Come on. And I'm exaggerating. I think it only fits 10 on StreamYard, but you get my fucking point. You know what I mean? I'm not like that. Every now and then I say, yeah, why not? I might be discussing something. I want to hear other people's opinions. I'll drop the link. But I was told in the beginning by my viewers, they don't want to hear other people on my show. They want to hear me. So that's why I do it by myself. And also, because like I said, I never want to owe anybody. I never want to say, wow, look at all the guests this person got me, or wow, look at all the networking they did for me. That's why Lee, he would have James, because Lee is disliked universally, right? So he would have James go out and sweet talk people to get him the interviews. You're not even putting in the work. You're sitting at home watching fucking TV while somebody else is going out and getting you your guests. Come on, man. Don't compare me to any fucking buddy in here. No way. And don't forget, Jeff Nadu. Okay? He started with me doing mob shows. All right? And we did great fucking mob content together. Okay? He hadn't even had a channel yet. And me and him were on here doing mob shows. I must have 10, 15 shows, just me and him talking mob content only. Okay? And he sold his fucking show to a $100 million fucking company. All right? I helped RJ. And RJ wound up being able to get Mikey Scars. And guess who fucking reminded me of all this the other day? RJ. Yeah. You know how many fucking channels I got past 1,000 so people could get fucking monetized? I never hated. There's never any jealousy in me. I just want to see people do good. And I've never done anything to stop anybody from progressing. So don't give me no fucking bullshit, because let me tell you something. Half these channels and half these guests that you see on other shows and stuff wouldn't even fucking be here if it wasn't for me. Believe that. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that very much. Chris Breeder, fuck off. Well, it's been quite a long time, but I used to do a lot. I used to do stories on my own. I would pick a mob guy, do a whole show about him. I did a show. One of my best shows, I think, is a show I did about, for like these farm teams, like these kid gangs that wind up being, recruits for the mafia, basically. I talked about damn near every fucking street gang, like the Rampers, people like that, and I fucking did a wonderful show. I think I did it all by myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty goddamn sure. I don't think I had anybody on with me, and most of my shows were like that when I did mob content. And then I'd have people where I do them, like Jeff. Jeff would be a regular guest. He'd hit me up like 9:00 at night and be like, "Want to do a show tonight?" Sure. And then we'd do a 2-3 hour show just talking about the fucking mob. All right. So it's absurd. I've been having this fucking argument for 2 fucking years now. When people come in here and say stupid stuff. First of all, I'm going to explain this to everybody again. Everything, and I do mean everything. Yeah, Jesse, I mentioned the A&R shows. Yeah, and that's the most important thing on here. Show me somebody else doing something positive. Show me somebody who's doing something positive to improve lives. Okay? Because you still can't find one. Not one. And what was I going to say? It slipped my mind now. Jesse texted me and it slipped my mind. But it's just ridiculous, man. To compare me to a bunch of shows that do nothing but talk about people and have never done anything else. Never. They can't. They have yet to prove, most of these people, that they can hold an audience, especially by themselves. Yeah, So yeah, you haven't even proven yourself, okay? You haven't even proven yourself. At least, not to be, a content creator who can provide variety and do different types of things and, and still hold a decent fucking audience. I'm talking about bullshit right now. I got 161 people, and even that is only because it's such a fucking slow night. Okay. But as slow as it is, I still have 162 people. Okay. That's it. And as for the content thing, I love when people say this. Why don't you start doing content again? I think this came from like Lee or somebody, this idea that content is a certain thing. Like something has to be, I don't know, constructed almost for it to be content. You gotta put a story together, or you have to have people on and have some sort of every single thing on YouTube is content. Period. It doesn't matter. If Tony Pizza comes on here tomorrow and farts in the camera and then ends the show and people watch, it's content. If someone comes on here and talks about their fucking socks all day, it's content. If you come on here and you're trashing people or roasting the fuck out of them or in a vicious battle, it's content. Content is anything, when it comes to YouTube, content is anything people watch. That's content. I love when people say, why don't you start doing content again? What do you mean? I never stopped. I've been doing it for fucking, 31 fucking months. What do you mean? What isn't content? Well, I don't get it. But some idiot started that, and then everybody else got this idea that content is a specific thing. No, content is everything. Stand-up guy is content. The shitty fucking people, the assholes, the pizzas, the MREs, that's content. Okay? Period. Angel is content. Everybody who does anything on YouTube is creating fucking content. If it wasn't there before you did it, then you created content. See what I'm saying? It's up to everybody what they want to do or how they want to do it. Some people, they got to do that shit. They got to pick a subject like the mafia and stick with it, and they can't get away from it. Okay, everything they do has to be mafia related. Everything they talk about, and they can never branch out because that's how they branded themselves. RJ used to say it to me all the time. He's Black Handprint Mafia. I'm just Fat Bald-Sicilian. I could talk about whatever the fuck I want. So if people want to put mob shows together, do a bunch of research, come up with a specific guy or something, talk about him, tell his story, cool. If people just want to have shows where they have discussions about the mob, cool. And if people want to come on here and just roast people and attack others verbally, cool. It's all content, okay? It's all entertaining. So that's all I have to say. Let me see some comments. Yeah, FBS the Human Springboard. You already know. Yeah, I mean, not to even mention, forget about the channels I went out of my way to help build. The fucking channels that all they do, whether it's a clip channel, a troll fucking channel, or a guy or a bunch of guys on screen, or a woman and a bunch of women on screen just talking shit about me. Where is your channel without me? Where? I remember when me and Angel were fighting real bad. She'd have 325 fucking people watching every night. And then when we stopped fighting, she couldn't get 100. Okay, and that's no insult to Angel necessarily, because she does way better now. But for a long time, for a long fucking time, I had to be the goddamn subject. Okay, and that goes for a lot of fucking channels. For a lot of fucking channels. So even the people I don't necessarily like or get along with. Right? Like these troll motherfuckers. If they didn't have me to talk about, they wouldn't have a channel, period. There's guys on here who literally just do every single, whether it's I won't call them live streams, a 5-minute video where they just talk about me, whatever. And that's all they do is just FBS all the fucking time. And why? Because I'm the worst content creator on YouTube? That's why people hate me, right? Yeah, sure. That's not how it works, okay? When you're the best content creator, not YouTube, MobTube, you're hated. When you make the most money, you're hated. When you're the most loved by your fucking chat and your audience, you're hated. Okay? When you can roast the fuck out of everybody's favorite content creator and demolish them, you're hated. Okay? No matter who your content creator is, I probably demolished them. Your favorite. I probably demolished them. So yeah, I'm hated for that too. And when it comes to just my life and my lifestyle, yeah, I'm hated without a doubt. Not because I'm doing bad in life. Believe that. Just remember, that other people have done 10 times worse than me on here, but yet I'm always the fucking center of attention. Always. Because what? Because I suck? No. No, people are very, very jealous they can't do what I do. Even some of these shows, people won't even fucking come on camera. It's not a podcast, it's YouTube. All right, let's see. I don't know, pizza, who knows? Maybe jail, I don't know. Thank you, John DeLong. Yeah, it seems that way. D. Gainey, hell, you had Nadu on here singing Journey and other songs. No one else can say that. Fucking right. Yeah. And I built a friendship with Nadu and with RJ and with a lot of these fucking guys. And I get support from places, you'd be very surprised about. Last night, I'm not going to get into who it was. Eventually, I have a feeling it'll be spoken about. But I got a phone call from someone who was very, very concerned about me and this situation. If I told you who this was and how pissed off he was and how fucking worried and everything else he was, you would fucking pass out. I can't, unfortunately, because it's not just my business, it's his as well. But certain people in here know. Miss Can't Be Wrong, Tony Ducks, they know who it was. Even people you might think hate me, some of them have a lot of fucking respect for me. A lot. Yeah, of course. I'm the only motherfucker who's ever backed up anything he fucking said. I don't know what that is. What is that? Nicosia connection. That's the thing, people. It's all about the Al Gore rhythm. Yeah. Unfortunately, Jane Creek, yeah. People went over to listen to that shit. Yeah. Anything. It's all content. Somebody came in the chat yesterday and he wasn't even being rude, I don't think, but I blocked them just because of the stupidity. The stupidity. You should start doing content. When the fuck did I stop? This isn't content. I get regularly, on average, 2,000 views per live stream, usually a lot more. If I only do one live stream a day, a lot fucking more. If I do two, I get about 2,000 on each. All right, I probably get about 5,000 views a day with old videos and new. And I'm not making content. Okay. All right. Well, what the fuck are people watching then? I know. Hey, now, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, I was going to start a podcast, and I still might. This is not a podcast. This is a YouTube show. Okay? Even, like, Sammy the Bull calls his thing a podcast, but that's because it's part of a podcast. They do that, too. Jeff Nadu has a podcast where everything he does on YouTube goes on his podcast, plus he has original content that goes on there. Understand? Like, this is not a podcast. It's not. That's why I never understood people being behind a fucking avatar. The whole point of YouTube is to watch it, not to listen fucking to it. I don't get that. Why not put your fucking face? What is everybody so worried about? You embarrassed about how you look? What's wrong? Just be on fucking camera. You see how much more views you'll get. How much more people will be into your fucking show if they could actually see you instead of just hearing you. I've been telling people that shit for 2 years. Nobody wants to do it. Anonymous 000, absolutely. Done. I'm just going to call you Don. Wish there were more than 16 likes out of 167 people. Show this guy some love. He's qualified. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, I'd appreciate it. A hand job is a job. It pays the rent. Well, I guess if you charge for it, it does. I stinky vegan Irish lot lizard. And I feel like you probably have charged for them. No, I didn't say that, Chris Breeder. I didn't say that. See, that's what you guys turn it into. No, but I deserve the fucking credit that's owed to me. Okay, I deserve the fucking props. Now, whether I get it, I don't care, because like I said, it's been proven fucking 90% of the people on here are fucking jealous of me, and they fucking hate me because of it. Okay, I don't care. But if something like last night happens, of course I'm going to answer it. I never said I was the greatest thing ever. I never did, but there's nobody on MobTube you can compare to me. There just isn't. I'll debate any fucking buddy on this. I'm not the greatest thing ever, but I'm the greatest thing on here. FBS, those guys hang on your every word. Look at what you are wearing and your jewelry. They are so jealous. Oh, I know. They talk about my car. They talk about vacations I go on. They talk about whether or not I use my money to gamble. They're all concerned about my money. How many pairs of sneakers do I fucking buy? You name it. My tattoos have probably been the topic of 50 different fucking live streams from different content creators. They still talk about them. Chicky has no Murta tattoo. You don't hear a word. Gene Borello has no Murta tattoo. Nobody talks about it. I have one. It's a big topic of fucking conversation. It's fucking, and there's probably fucking hundreds of people who watch these shows who also have them. But because it's me, it's strange, Oh, I know, Jesse Roth. I don't let myself forget. FBS, don't forget, no matter what, you are just bad, plain downright bad, and it's all your fault. See, I can't help laughing. Yeah, I know, everything's my fault, every fucking thing. Pizza was picked up by the Department of Homeland Defense for saying that he hopes the Mossad is destroyed. He's being waterboarded as we speak. Yeah, he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know what's what. Weird individual. Very stupid person. No, I understand that, Anonymous 000. I do it sometimes too. I'll listen to this shit when I'm driving. But, you know how many fucking people have told me that they put this shit on their TVs? They watch us on their flat screens and shit, How can you watch something that isn't on the fucking screen? I don't know. I know, Tony Ducks, and they have every right to fucking do that, but you get my point, right? You get my point that since the beginning, no matter what was wrong with me, whether I just had plastic surgery, whether I had fucking COVID, whether I had a giant pimple on my fucking head, whether I just got jumped and I'm bleeding profusely and I'm all bruised up and whatever, I will come on here and show my fucking face and talk. And I'll talk about whatever the fuck it is that's wrong with me or whatever is going on in my life. I don't have to hide anything. I'm one of the only fucking people who doesn't sit on here and act like their fucking life is perfect and it's flawless. There's nothing wrong, no problems whatsoever. No, Jesse, and I'm not knocking everybody who uses an avatar. I'm just saying that, I'm one of the only people who doesn't. That's it. I mean, who else? Lee and James, I mean, who else is on fucking camera? I don't know. Oh, SoFlo, he's on camera. Johnny Mac, Tony Pizza, who else? I wouldn't doubt it, Anonymous 000. Let me see something. All right, I'm all behind. Danny Green, $10. Come on, people, match. There's a bunch of us in here. Let's get this money up. Match. Thank you. And as you guys know, Danny Green is one of the biggest sponsors of this show, so you must do what he says. Hey now, $9.99, $1 for each dozen of FBS F-bombs dropped so far. 10 dozen, huh? Thank you, hey now. I appreciate that. I do say fuck a lot. Shinebox, $49.99. Hope your mom is doing well. Let me get the party started. Shinebox, thank you, man. I love you, bro. Thank you for everything you do for me and my family. OC, $20 for thanks for the entertainment, bro. Matched. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And thank you for the message, too. So anyway, that's it. It's like, you know what it's like? Because like dude said, oh, I'm the greatest thing ever. No. And I don't want to sit here and be telling you how fucking great I am, okay? I don't like doing it. I know it sounds stupid, right? But it's like a breakup. Men could especially relate to this. You ever, have a breakup with a chick and all that bitch tells you for the next fucking 2 years after the breakup is every fucking horrible thing you ever did, but they never mention all the great shit you did for them or with them? Same shit. And it puts you to a point where you have to fucking start reminding her, wait a minute. What do you mean? Look at everything I bought for you, everything I did for you. I built us a home. I did whatever it may be. You people put you when people tell you you ain't shit, it's human nature to defend yourself. Okay. So I'm not acting like I'm the greatest thing ever, but you're not going to take from me everything I fucking accomplished on here. You're not going to try to, get away with pretending that this isn't mostly something I built. Okay. And I mean MobTube, not just my channel. This is why, hold on guys, let me get a bottle of water. All right. You know how much I hate fucking showing people what I make and stuff, but why have I ever done that? Do I just come on here and say, guys, you're not going to believe what I made this month? No, I'd rather nobody knows exactly how much. But if you keep telling me how I ain't shit and I can't support my fucking family and I don't have an income and this isn't a job, then I got to show you. And it makes me look like a dick to an extent, but I don't give a fuck, I don't care. And anybody would do it. Any fucking buddy would do it. Everybody brags about themselves on here. Everybody thinks they're the fucking best, So 182 people. Thank you all. What else? Let me see. I am a Leo. That's right. Castrate him, girl. Castrate him, girl. Interesting name. What else did I want to talk about tonight? I already told you, I'm going to have some things coming up that are going to be really fucking good. I'm kind of going to start focusing again on all this shit. And I'm going to bring you guys some new stuff and some new people. Some people you may have not ever seen on MobTube, And, that's my plans, like I said. Even tonight, I don't have to bash anybody. I don't. I just got to prove my point, and that's what I did because nobody could argue these things. Last night, I'll probably take the show down. I don't like talking about the shit that happened, and I don't like even addressing any of these people anymore. But, you get on a fucking roll, and it's like you just start talking when you should just be shutting the fuck up. I want to keep the channel only positive stuff, or at least, not negative shit, I want to have some good conversations with people and stuff like that. We can do it like we always did it. Let's see. 175 people. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to talk. I was listening to a lot of crazy true crime and stuff today. And I don't know if you guys heard about the Delphi murders. Do you know about that? The Richard Allen thing? Because this shit's kind of crazy. And if you watch Crime Circus, I think Drip Drop talks about this shit a lot. But I don't watch it necessarily on his channel. I watch it other fucking places. You guys know about this stuff? The cult of Odin and all that shit? You heard of them? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mini 560. I figured you would. It's a crazy fucking case where a guy. Wait a minute. What news did I get here? Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Camp. You're wrong. Yeah, there's been a fake Joey Frakes. DJ Kaz says, I always watch you on my 60-inch TV. Thank you. Sometimes I watch myself on my 58-inch TV. But I do that is how it is. Like, I'll get back to the Delphi murders thing. If I'm watching anybody, if I'm watching stand-up guy, lately I've been listening to a lot of him. Dude's fucking wildly entertaining, right? So, me and Shanna will listen to that. And sometimes, even though there's really nothing to look at on the screen, I put it up just so we could see the comments in the chat and stuff like that. But that's what I do with anything I watch on here. Unless, like I said, I'm just driving around or something. Because why wouldn't you? Rather than sitting there watching it on your fucking phone, you could put it on TV. And, that's what this all has become. It's all become reality TV. Cat D, $10 for match. Thank you, Cat D. As you guys know, Cat D is one of the biggest sponsors of this show. I hate to have to remind people, but so anyway, that's what this whole thing has become, and the drama is always going to be the most sought after shit. It's always going to be the most sought after shit. I would like eventually, I've been saying this for a long time now, and I've meant it, and I still do. I would love to get the fuck away from all this, and just escape and go start a new channel, different name, different every fucking thing, and get focused on something else. And I'm looking at a couple of things. I've been watching some stuff. And I'm listen, my talent is in the rants. I just got to rant about fucking people who matter. That's how you get real subs. That's how you make real fucking money. Well, I already make real money. I can't front. But, there's channels that have 100,000 fucking subs that don't come near, anywhere near what I make. But, you could always do better. And that's what I want to do. I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want to be stuck in this bullshit. And I don't want to do things I've already done, I want to do new shit and bring new shit to MobTube as long as I'm here. But I would love to fucking bounce. Arthur Stewart, it seems like in every YouTube community, it always devolves into content creator fighting. Well, see, that's the thing, Arthur, why this is crazy. And by the way, earlier you said I did some really good interviews. Thank you for that, bro. I think so. I think some of them are good. I think some of them I could have done way better, but, it's not about me. It's about, you're hearing the stories from the guys, whether it's actors, mob guys. I don't know about other communities. Like I would love for you guys to show me a different community. I'm not talking about the women's community or any of that. I've seen that. I still don't even know what the fuck that community is supposed to be about, nor do I care. 90 day, whatever. I don't know. I never heard a single content creator talking about 90 day any fucking thing over there. But I like to see a community, like if somebody could lead me in the direction of people doing what we do on here, content creators fighting with each other in a genre like true crime. I'd be fascinated to see that. Somebody just send me a video of one content creator who does something similar to what we do on here. But that's what I heard. I heard all the communities get this vicious and honestly way more vicious than this. But I'm to the point I told you guys where as for the fighting shit, if that's what I need to do to be on here making fucking money, I'll just go do something else, But trust me, I'm going to make my living off social media till the day I fucking die. As long as I have a voice, I'm going to make my living on social media, whether it's fucking something like this, Patreon, a fucking podcast. I don't know if you consider that social media, Instagram Live, Facebook, whatever the fuck I have to do. I'll figure out a way to make a living doing this, but it's so hard to pull away and move on to other shit, because you're all wrapped up in this. FBS, I could see you ranting about true crime. You don't need to have the standard format. Pick a look into true crime hot topic and then go off. All right, well, listen, I'll think about it. I'll fucking look into it and see if I can fit my way in there. I certainly will. I know, Slug. I know. That's why I said I don't want to do things I did before. I want to do new shit. I want to have new guests. Bring new shit to the table, just like I always brought every fucking thing to the table. I'm going to start bringing more shit to it, and you guys are going to have fucking fantastic entertainment. Every now and then I'll do a show like this, maybe, you know. I know you guys like it, and I enjoy doing it because I get to get some things off my chest. But, you know, as far as all that tearing each other apart, fighting shit, let them all do it to each other. Fuck that. Fuck that. You can't, I don't care who you are. You can't get through to anyone, no matter who you are. Okay? If you're fighting with someone who hates your fucking guts, you're not going to change their mind. No matter how much sense you talk into them or how much you try to reason with them or what kind of rant you go on explaining things to them like they're fucking 5, you're not going to get anywhere. It's a big fucking waste of time. Okay? And then when they take it to an extreme where they want to do something to you in real life, they catch you off guard with 5 fucking guys. Okay? So when you see that you're cowards not only on YouTube, but you're fucking cowards off of YouTube, why am I dealing with you? Why? Why am I even talking about you or to you? Fuck off. You know, I never associated with punks and cowards like that. Never. And I'm not going to fucking do it now. Unfortunately, I let myself get wrapped up in all this bullshit. And I went back and forth with people for 2 fucking years now simply because it made money and it was a proven fucking formula. But it's played out. I can only fight with the same fucking assholes for so long, you know? See, Jason, I don't know what that's about, but it's partly my fault because I guess I don't fucking... Kevin Mack, where the fuck have you been, bro? Holy shit. I hope you're doing okay, my man. Wow. It's partly my fault because I don't schedule the shows that far in advance. Hassan Campbell. Gunsmoke fucking had me watching some of his shit, but I don't know much about that. All communities are toxic. I believe it. Oh, really? I just got a funny comment. Nicosia Connection, you do good debunking those in the UFO community. Yes. There's a UFO community? So there's a community for everything, huh? I'm learning new shit. You guys, seriously, if you see shit going on in communities, like what goes on in here, just email me a link. Or if you have my number, text me. I'll check it out and see what's happening. Because I could get to know a subject real quick and start throwing my fucking 2 cents in. They do fight, huh? Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Well, that's the plan for now, Sadie Green. Or, I'm going to go back to what I used to do. I'm going to go back to what I used to do for a while, And if I have something to rant about or someone, I'll do that too. But I'm going to try not to. That's why I said last night, you'd be better off just taking this as a victory and moving the fuck on because, there's a few people on here that I can't talk about or, there's certain things I can't discuss. Everybody else is fair game. I could do whatever the fuck I want. So I know, D. Gainey, I know. And I hear myself doing it sometimes and I never wanted to be like that, so. I'll prove once again, like I always have, that I don't need to do any of that bullshit. I have a whole fucking host. I could talk about true crime. Of course, I'll always talk about addiction and recovery. I could talk about the mob. I could do interviews, whatever. I've proven that I can do all that. I don't know why anybody else hasn't. I guess or why nobody else has, because I don't know. They either can't or don't care to. Gene Borello rebranded himself as a food connoisseur. I'd like to see. I heard he was doing food reviews. I talked to him earlier, but I didn't, nothing like that. Nothing about that. Slug, I can't say I blame you. I would too if I could. Yeah, I don't think I want to fuck around in that community. I can only imagine how nasty that gets. Captain Downtown, the hip hop genre is way worse. Hassan Campbell, Whack 100, Doggy Diamonds, Charleston White, all get real vicious. Yeah, but what I'm asking is, are there small channels like this who take sides and fight with other people and comment on stuff like that? Is there small channels like this to do that? Or is it just famous people? Yeah, Anonymous 000, I am. But I already got some ideas. I got some things in the works. You guys will see very, very soon. Very, very soon. I don't know who that is, D. Gainey. Yeah, Kevin Mack. I figured it was something. You just went away. It gets played out. Let me tell you something, man. A lot of these people who even say, I don't want the drama. I don't want to get involved. I don't want the beef. I don't want this. I don't want that. They're even still doing little shit. That's drama. Even when they're not doing drama, they're doing drama. So, bit of beep. We'll see. Yeah, that I wanted to talk about that, Jeff. If you want to come on, we'll discuss that. Ain't that some shit? Anthony Center is getting out. I think, is it September of next year? I was looking it up on the federal inmate locator the other night. But Joey Testa, life. Crazy, right? I wanted to have a discussion about that. I'll drop the link and see if anybody wants to join. If not, just do it myself. Whatever. Sorry, I accidentally put that up on the screen. There's a Taylor Swift fucking community? Oh, fuck that. No, I'm good. Stephen Cordell, $20. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And he said match. Now, as you guys know, Stephen Cordell is one of the biggest sponsors of this show. So when he says match, he means it. It's not just like he's suggesting that you match. It's more of an order. You don't want to fuck around with Stephen. I know him personally. We had dinner last night, and he's nobody to fuck around with. Italiano, I'm gonna have some new guests. I'm gonna do some new interviews, and I'm gonna bring some new people to this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm today and last night I reached out to a couple of people. I already got a yes with one guy, and I reached out to somebody else before the show. I'm iffy about whether he's going to do it. You got to remember something. Back when I was doing interviews, I had conversations with people about doing future interviews, and then I just kind of dropped the interviews thing. So now I'm getting back to people. I'm saying, hey, you still willing? Whatever. There's a couple of people who promised me interviews, people that you would fucking love to hear from on here. And I'll get them on here too. I don't know about actors anymore. If I'm going to bother with that, I might. But the mob guys and shit, yes, sir. Like Foodie Beauty. She has an entire community of small channels that fight about her. Some with Grandma, some with Emberlyn. What the fuck? I don't even want the Foodie Beauty? The fuck is that? Oh, really? Mini 560? Good. I would love to see. The gardening community is extremely toxic. I don't know if you're being serious or not. Nico, see a connection. Yeah, so many small channels that feed off of Doggy Diamonds, Guilty TV, Hassan Campbell alone must be paying the light bill for 500. Oh, Hassan Campbell alone must be paying the light bill for 500 people. Yeah, I know he's a very controversial figure. Controversial, sorry. No. He's getting out. Look, guys. Federal. Jesus fucking Christ. I got no fucking patience, guys. I got zero. Somebody emailed me about this like 2 weeks ago and said I should talk about it on the show, and I totally forgot about it. And then a couple of nights ago, I saw it again. Look, guys. Always got to make sure the screen is clean. Anthony Michael Center, 6/22/24. Okay, so June of next year. Wait a minute, let me see. About 8 months from now? That's crazy, right? Fucking Anthony Center, of all people, one of the fucking Gemini twins. Cold fucking blooded. Fucking killer. Absolute killer. Yo.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing all right. So, I wanted to ask you on something. You're talking about like different communities. Are you like in on any of like the Discord world?
No, I don't know anything about that shit. I know fucking MRE had one.
So I got to send you some information. You got to see some of the shit that goes on in these Discord communities, dude. Like,
Really?
it would blow your fucking mind when it comes to like true crime. Like, I'm talking about extortion rings, sex trafficking that goes on, all sorts of wild shit, murders. Like, I'm telling you, bro, I
What
got
do
to
you
send
mean?
you.
Within the fucking
Yeah, so basically what they are is they turn in essentially to like crime families, right? Where
yeah.
they have, so a Discord is, let's say there was one called 764, it's called, and there might be 20,000 people in the Discord community, and there's a boss of the Discord, right? There are 3 or 4 of them. And this is actually a real story. They were in Brazil. They were based in Brazil, and these 4 kids, they were like 20 years old. Essentially, they were basically trying to like sexploit women and like getting them to like light their houses on fire and shit. Like,
what?
Yeah, I have to send you a video a friend of mine did on it. It's almost hard to even describe. Like, it's one of the most wild, like bizarre things I've ever heard of.
Wow. So I don't know shit about what really goes on, huh?
Hold on. I'm about to yeah, you got to see this. It's fucking unbelievable. They do like investigative reports on it in Brazil because it's so crazy.
And this was just the what the fuck's it called? Discord?
Yeah, like there's actually one of these groups that they basically like watch, like they try to like bully people into killing themselves. And
what?
they bully people into committing crimes. There was a kid in like Poland, I believe, that they goaded him into killing someone on camera, and he went and like killed this old lady on camera and shared it in the Discord. It's creepy shit, man.
Holy fuck, bro.
Yeah, and a lot of them are like,
the internet's a dangerous fucking place, man.
It really is. And not all the people are anonymous, and most of them are like pedophiles. They distribute like CP and stuff. They're fucking lowlifes, man. I got to send you some of the videos I've seen on them. It's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, I want to see some of this shit, man. Definitely. I like to see what goes on, on other, I guess, areas of the internet, so to speak.
I would
YouTube too.
I would highly recommend, if you have kids like between the ages of like 10 and like 17, watch what they're doing on those Discord channels, because there's some depraved motherfuckers on there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. You got to watch your kid, every fucking thing they do with their phone in their hand now, bro, because you never know.
Yeah, absolutely. But how are you? How's everything going?
I'm all right. How about you, bro?
I can't complain. I haven't had a great couple of weeks, but part of the world.
I'm sorry for your loss, bro.
Thank you, man. You've been very, very nice about everything. A lot of people have. It's never easy to lose your parent, but he was a good dad, so that's all I can ask. But yeah, the Anthony Center stuff is pretty nuts. Someone told me about that recently. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was, because I had been under the impression that Anthony had life.
Well, me too. And somebody was telling me, somebody in here, I can't fucking remember who it was now. was it Ranger Fan 11, I think maybe, has been telling me that he's going to get out. And they were actually telling me this summer, that he would be out. Like in June or July, he was getting out. And obviously he didn't. But I couldn't believe it either, because how the fuck did that happen? He had life, bro. I checked the federal inmate locator on him probably 10 times in the last year because people keep telling me this shit. He had life. How the fuck is he getting out in June? And he's only what? Like, those guys are still fairly young. What is he, 65, 66?
Yeah, my guess it has something to do with some sort of, I guess, I don't know per se. It's just really a guess. I haven't looked into it or anything, but I would think it has something to do with some sort of technicality or compassionate release or something. I don't know. Again, first of all, what I find interesting, there has to be some sort of technicality because they're not going to give him a compassionate release. They hate the mafia. And I mean, it's not like he was arrested for extortion. I mean, he's arrested for multiple murders. But I mean, then again, Vito Guzzo is going to be let out. Tommy Reynolds is going to be let out. All of them are people that have killed people. So
yeah, but Tommy Reynolds, his original release date was 2036, and now I think he's getting out in 2030. Yeah, so he got his sentence shortened a little bit. But the guys that actually have life, because life in federal prison means natural life. There's no split sentences. There's no 25 to life. It's fucking till the day you die. So it's astonishing to me. Even Vito Guzzo had a release date.
Yeah.
But Anthony Center didn't. How the fuck is he getting out, bro? I'm so curious.
Yeah,
it seems like they're shortening a lot of fucking sentences the last couple of years, man. A lot.
I think it just really has to do at this point. But what I find concerning is that, I don't know how many of you know this, but I think 10% of the federal inmate population are violent offenders. The rest are, drug mules or others. I mean, if we're not only not prosecuting people that are committing violent crimes, we're also now letting them out. People like Anthony Center should never see the light of day again. But this raises a question to you, because I know you're big into, a lot about the Beth Avenue crew. I recently did a show on Tommy Reynolds, and a lot of it had to do with his father, because I found his father fascinating. His father was a very connected guy.
Andrew, yeah.
Yeah. But I'll ask you, Tommy Reynolds got 42 years or whatever it was. But Tommy Reynolds has had, from what we understand and from what I researched in the federal system, a nearly perfect record. Like, he's done classes and he's done Bible shit and all this different stuff. And he's gotten people that work there to say he's great, and all the inmates that said he's great. And does that warrant to you that what he did when he was 25 is nowhere similar to now that he's 54?
I don't know, bro. I mean,
the problem with life.
You can't have that in you and lose it. If you have the ability, the way Tommy Reynolds killed people, even though he was young, and you're wild when you're young. I mean, and, not even. He was in his mid-20s, late 20s when he was killing people still. He would do it right out in the fucking open, bro. The way they killed Vincent DePippo and Neil Nastro.
Yeah.
He just walked over to them. He blew fucking Neil Nastro's brains out. And then just because Vincent DePippo, Neil's uncle, was there, he killed him too.
Plus, he's involved with Galeno. He did Shemtov. So, I mean, it's not like it was just like a, look, if he had just did, and we found out that it definitely was an accident and Shemtov died, look, it's still murder. He'd plead and whatever. But you have to ask yourself, why? Look at Vito Guzzo. Vito Guzzo admitted to 5 murders and got 38 years. The government is so scared to take this shit to trial because they know that generally they have no proof that they actually did it. So they just throw a number out and say, you can either get life or 38 years. What do you want? No one's going to take life over 38 years, and that's how they get it. But you really have to ask why they're doing, all due respect, I love Gene Borello. I think he's a nice guy. I really do. I question some of the things he does at times. I think he's a very, misbehaved individual. But, I mean, Chris, ask yourself this, should he maybe be on the streets sometimes? I think there's a lot of questions about that.
Do you mean is society better off with him locked up?
Look, I interviewed Gene today, and I told him this exactly. I said, Gene, I think you should kiss your lucky stars that Frederick Block was your judge, because Frederick Block is very liberal. And I think you know this. I mean, the federal system is all about the judge you get. If you get the right judge, they can help you forever. And Gene's lucky that he got Block as a judge.
Well, Block has always been on his side against the prosecutors and everything. He's very, very lucky.
And that's what he told me. He said, the prosecutors fucking hate me. He said, I was just lucky to get Block as a judge. Because Gene, I mean, again, how many times can the guy commit crimes and get away with it? You know, it's almost
I
like,
know.
why does the government allow it? You know, it's like,
I know, bro. It is scary, some of the people. I don't know what to say about Gene exactly, but he is a wild man. He's unpredictable. He's a loose cannon. So I don't know. Maybe society would be better off with him locked up. But that goes, that's about this whole federal system and this cooperation shit. I mean, look how many fucking people are able to walk, stone cold killers able to walk the fucking street just because they had information on somebody bigger than them. It's unbelievable, really. And I mean, even people who failed as witnesses, like John Alite failed against John Jr., for example, stuff like
absolutely.
that. They still they stick to the agreement simply because of this. Every time they give one of these mob rats a short fucking sentence for their crimes, it's advertising. That's what the feds are doing. They're saying to everybody else on the street, regardless of what you did, if you'll work with us and give us what we want, you're going to walk away damn near scot-free. You might do 5-10 years tops. Doesn't matter what you did. You could have killed 15 people. It don't matter.
I think what the feds realize is, and you know this, I mean, there are people on YouTube right now that know more than the feds about the mafia. There just are. I mean, and I think the feds look at it and say, we might not be getting much on the stand. Like, for instance, Vincent the Fish Cafaro cooperated against Tony Salerno. He was a terrible witness, did nothing really at all. But if you look into his testimony, the one thing he did that they have credited him for is they did not know Barney Balomo existed until Fish Cafaro told him about him. Because Fish Cafaro sponsored him into the family. They didn't know who Barney was.
That's crazy.
They look at stuff like that and they say, well, we're not getting much here, but hey, we're getting stuff like this or stuff like that. So I asked Gleason, he prosecuted Gotti. I said, how do you justify making a deal with someone like Sammy Gravano?
Mhm.
Because, I mean, Sammy Gravano is not he's a guy that hasn't learned anything. He still thinks he's in the streets. And he said, well, we look at all they've done and all the contributions they've given us, and we feel like bringing in a Chinjiganti and a John Gotti is more than a Sammy Gravano. And that's how they justify it. But yeah, the feds without informants would be nothing. They wouldn't have any cases, I think, a lot of the time.
No, and the funny thing is, that I've always said, in a lot of cases, there's no such thing as good police work. It's simply people giving them the answers. I'm not saying it's always like that, but in a lot of cases, and I've seen, situations where the cops, if they don't have the answer handed to them, they don't even take any interest in the fucking case.
And the only reason they have a 95% conviction rate is because most people plead. And they say, well, like they'll go to, let's say you're selling drugs and you're holding drugs for a kingpin or something. They'll go to you and say, listen, you either cooperate against your supply or we give you 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's really, you're not going to beat this case. You have no shot. We know we have you with it. There's nothing here. And people are going to plead because they're not going to cooperate a lot of the time. It's one or the other, and they're both bad. So,
well, that's the fucked up thing about guilty pleas. What they did is they made it so that you don't have the right to a fair trial. You absolutely do not, because this, I'm telling you, I've had dozens of fucking friends go on trial and get locked up and take guilty pleas. I've taken guilty pleas. What they'll do is they'll say, like say I was facing on one case a 2 to 4. I was in 2000, right? So they told me, you're definitely, if you go to trial, we're gonna give you the 2 to 4. It's a mandatory minimum. There's no way you can get out of it. Okay, but if you take the guilty plea, 18 months. And they put you in a position where you have to, because I'll tell you what, a friend of mine, they offered him 5 to 10 years on a bullshit fucking case. There's no way he should have done that time, but they told him, if you go to trial, we're going to put all types of stuff together, different charges we got you on. You're going to do 18 years minimum. So this guy had to take that 5 to 10, and it's fucked up because it shouldn't be that way. Okay, you have the right to go to fucking trial without being penalized for it. And that's what they're doing. They're saying, go to trial if you want, jam up the court system, but we're going to make you fucking pay. And you're going to do more time than you even deserve for your crimes.
I mean,
look
at Tuccio, prime example.
Oh.
I mean, he commits, again, arson is obviously not a crime you should be committing, but it's not. I mean, he lit a car on fire. He didn't light a house on fire where kids died. He lit a car on fire. The other two defendants get probation. or essentially supervised, oversight, he gets 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
A, because he didn't want to play ball, and B, he thumbed his nose up at them and paraded around taking pictures with people, and again, they threw the book at him.
Yeah.
And his other option would be he's going to do 8.5 years on that 10 years in the prime of his life, or the other end is cooperate.
Yeah.
And he ain't going to cooperate. So
no. It's
people laugh at Tuccio, but he's if there is a mafia still, he's the future of it. He just is. It's the truth.
Possibly.
They many people, according to what I've known, say he's made at this point, and he's doing his time, which that has to count for something, at least I think to him. I think that's what he thinks. And I'm interviewing a guy in a few weeks, Chris, that, look, I'm not judging him. He was involved in January 6th. I think he's an interesting guy, and he did time at Loretto, and he was in there with Tuccio, and he told me he is playing the game. He's hanging out with people. Everything's good. He's not making any waves with nobody. I think that's taken him a long way.
It might be, I don't know how respected he was on the street before he got locked up and shit. So I don't know if I'd say he's the future of the mob, but I understand where you're coming from, because it will be guys like that. It will be the younger guys who they do these bids. They get respect just because they kept their mouth shut. Huh?
Yeah. There's no young people in that life anymore, really. I mean, go look at those 5 charts of the 5 families and find me more than 5 people under the age of 45 years old. There aren't many. Who
do you think makes him, Joey Molino or New York? What do you think?
From what I heard, he was transferred to Philadelphia. That's what I heard. Because he had got in that beef with Ronnie G, and then his uncle washed his hands of him. And Loretto's an FCI. It's a mid.
It's in Texas, right?
No, Loretto's by Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. I was in jail with a dude who did time in Loretto. I think he said Loretto, he was in there with Scarfo at one point.
Yep. Loretto, McKean, Allenwood, Lewisburg, and then FDC Philadelphia, and Schuylkill as well. But yeah, that's Joe Cafe got sick of him and said, do what you want. So what I heard, he was down in Philly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, bro, but I always followed Families Against Mandatory Minimums, and it's like you said, bro, it's sickening that it literally is like 10% of the federal prison population that's actually violent criminals. I mean, the majority of every prison system in America, county, state, federal, is nonviolent drug offenders. It's fucking insane, bro.
Well, I guess my question to you would be, and I'm fascinated by this because I watch a lot of just shit about drugs and things of that nature, and you have these people, they made a movie about it that filmed The Mule, which I actually think is quite good, where you have a guy who's down and out in his luck. He starts transporting narcotics from, let's say, Texas to Illinois, like that guy was. Mm-hmm. That guy's not a violent person, okay? He's down on his luck, doesn't really know where else to turn. Definitely he's committing a crime, but does he deserve 10 years in prison for that? He's not a violent individual. He's not he's transporting marijuana. You have to ask yourself certain crimes, why are we giving such draconian sentences to them? I mean, look at all these people that have been on here. Chad Marks got 40 years in prison for selling drugs. I mean, luckily he got out, but
I never followed his story, bro. What did he do exactly? What did he get
basically
caught with?
he was a guy in Rochester who was no different than anyone else. He was selling coke and crack and things of that nature. Had a couple of guys under him. They were making some money. He got pinched. He had a bunch of guns, and they stacked it on top, each gun. They gave him 10 to 20 years on each gun on top of the drug charges. So he should have originally gotten 5 to 10 years, but they gave him 40 because of the guns, the stacked weapons charge.
And he got it shortened, right?
Yeah, he was involved in becoming a prison lawyer. He fought his case, got First Step Act, and they released him.
How much time did he do? Didn't he do 15 years or something?
I believe he did 18 years. And he actually was the guy that got Tommy Reynolds the sentence reduction. He was the guy behind that. He helped Tommy do that. And I mean, stuff like that. It's there are guys right now in prison that are nonviolent drug offenders that have, life sentence.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It really is. It's sick, bro. The fucking prison system would collapse if they released the nonviolent drug offenders.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't really know what he would say, but when you're talking about center, what could be the reason he's being released?
I don't know,
Is
but
it fake or like?
I don't know. This is what I want to know, though. This has been common, not common knowledge, but there's people who have known about this. Like I said, Ranger fan at 11's been telling me this for a year. Okay. How come nobody has the answer as to why he's getting out? I mean, we know with everybody else, like you just said, we know with Tommy Reynolds. Fabrizio, I don't remember. What was the reason for Fabrizio?
He had a plea.
No, but he was his original release date was 2030, and he got out this year.
Yeah,
So-
I want to say it probably had something to do with like just compassionate release or something. I'd have to look. I don't remember looking into it.
Yeah.
I don't know offhand,
But center is a fucking. How
he's
many
already
people?
killed one guy.
How many people you think? Yeah, how many people you think the Gemini twins killed? Honestly,
So
aside from what we know about.
So I try to do an estimate on how many total people we know of that the DeMeo crew killed. And I know for a fact that the feds have like 56 people pinned on the group in general. I would probably say that the Gemini twins in a ballpark, 25.
25. Yeah, bro, we
Yeah.
said it at the exact same
But
time.
then again,
That's
if
what
it's
I
more
was
than
thinking.
one,
25.
like let's say it's 3, like that's a lot of people. Like a mass murder is 4 people. Like
Yeah.
serial killers, I mean, they killed like dozens of people.
And the way they did shit too. I mean, like the Vladimir Reznikov, hit things like that. And walk up right behind you, put a fucking bullet in your head. Like they're brutal, they're vicious, man. I don't understand. Not only how one is getting out, but how the other isn't. How the fuck is one of them still doing life? And there's no talk about him getting his sentence shortened.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, in 1989, Center and Tester were both sentenced to life imprisonment, including charges on multiple murders.
I thought it was 88, but yeah.
I got to look into this case. I always thought they were just, kind of dealt with the same. They both got life.
Yeah, well, they did originally, but how the fuck is this happening? I'm so curious. Not just about him, though, but like a lot of these people, like I said, Fabrizio and stuff, Tommy got his sentence shortened. All these fucking, didn't Whack Whack get his fucking sentence shortened?
Yeah,
too?
he's out, yeah.
Yeah, he got his sentence shortened. Another fucking stone cold killer.
I mean, ask yourself this, though. And again, this is just whether or not you like the guy. Rosso at one point said that Testa inside was doing things you never would have thought he would be doing. Like a lot of these guys do, right? Like Tommy Reynolds is like really religious now. Like you never would. 20 years is a long time. How do we know Center's not like? I mean, should I say the certain word? I mean, is that possible?
I don't know, bro.
I mean, is he giving certain? I mean, again, there's no real way to make it make sense.
No, I mean,
like, are we going to let John or Charlie Carneglia out next? I mean, like,
well, John Carneglia is already out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
and he's in Howard Beach chilling.
Yeah,
and
I think we all well know that he was the guy that killed Castellano.
yeah, without a doubt, there were no questions.
But it's funny, FBS, because RJ and Mikey Scars had on John Senior's lawyer, this guy Anthony Cardinale.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if you heard this, but did you hear the argument that Cardinale made?
No.
He basically said, how do we actually know John Gotti planned the Paul Castellano hit? Is there actually any evidence?
Well, I always said that the whole fucking story came from one source.
Gravano.
Yeah. That's why I still, till this day, you can't convince me John Gotti was sitting next to Sammy the Bull when that fucking Castellano hit.
Oh, I agree with you there. When I interviewed him, he tried to tell me that they were there. And I was thinking to myself, like, I don't believe that. Like, well, they made it sound like it was the Gotti film. Like, we're like sitting across the street watching it. It's like,
and people don't understand. Like, a lot of people think that Gotti wasn't, well known at that point. Yes, he was. Especially after the John Favara thing, that shit was on the news. Everybody was talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, that guy disappeared after the accident, so he was already a well-known face in New York. To be sitting at that fucking hit would be, and I know John was a little reckless, okay, without a fucking doubt. Took some chances he shouldn't have taken and stuff, but that would be nuts. Why would you even chance being seen there by an off-duty cop or an on-duty cop or just a somebody, out Christmas shopping, whatever. I don't know, man. So I don't believe a lot of what Sammy said, because I believe that, although I'll never, jump on this bandwagon, that every rat lies. I believe that Sammy was not only allowed to lie, but coerced to lie about a lot of shit.
Yeah, I spoke to Joe Colombo's son, and he says he thinks that Gravano's been an informant like for decades, but
I
some
never
of
heard that about him.
Yeah, some of that's a little hard to believe. I mean, he also didn't think that his father was a mobster, so it's like,
there you go.
like, I don't know. I get it, your dad, whatever, but he got really upset that I kept saying the word mafia, and I was just like, sorry, man.
When did you you didn't talk to him on your show, did you?
Yeah, I interviewed him like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But yeah, I think the center stuff is very interesting. I had someone contact me on my show and said, "Hey, did you see centers getting out?" I said, "I mean, could it be a mistake? I mean, I know that like sometimes I've seen them make like a mistake or two, but
not with as long as certain people have known about this, and the fact that, I mean, it's on the federal inmate locator. I did not believe it till I saw it with my own eyes. Like I said, Ranger Fan 11 has been telling me this he's been telling all of us, centers getting out. We didn't believe him. I argued with him non-fucking stop about it. But then a couple of weeks ago, somebody emails me and says, Anthony Center's getting out. And I fucking looked it up, and his sentence or his release date went from life to fucking June of 2024. So I don't know, man. I don't understand how that's fucking possible. Well, if he's not, I mean, what is it possible that somehow he flipped in there and he's giving information on old shit, or
yeah, like about what though? Like he hasn't been on the street since the late 80s,
I don't know, that's all I could think of, because do we know? I mean, does he have stage 4 fucking cancer or something?
Yeah, but even then, like I mean, they're not. I don't think they're going to go out of their way to like. I mean, it's very simple. Okay, when you're in the mafia or connected to the mafia, you have to be, other than a rat, you have to get some sort of technicality on your case. And if he has a technicality, it'd be hard pressed to find that Testa doesn't have one too. They're not just going to let you out. Like, it doesn't really work. He's got to be doing something as far as doing something for someone.
Yeah, he has to be. And he's. Hold on, let me see here.
I mean, just because
he's 68. He's 68, bro.
Yeah, so he'll be around 70 when he gets out.
Yeah, and he's prison preserved, so he'll probably fucking live to be 90. Now, somebody said, Miss Can't Be Wrong, will he be paroled to his old neighborhood? I doubt it, but after Fabrizio being sent to a fucking halfway house in Brooklyn, nothing would surprise me. That's one of the craziest fucking things that's like when Merlino got out, instead of putting him in Florida, if they would have sent him back to South Philly. I think
that's pretty customary though, generally.
Really?
Yeah, like I know, for instance, like if you go to federal prison, let's say they put you in Schuylkill and you get out, you're going to go to a halfway house in Philadelphia or Harrisburg.
Well, yeah, but not York. And that's again, I'm Chris Lodrago. I mean,
I would think it's probably
you're talking about
just like a what's available, I guess. I don't know. That's a good point.
Well, yeah, like I'll tell you the truth. My friends that have been let out of state prison do not get sent back here. They get sent somewhere else in the state. They might come back here on their own after they get out of the halfway house. But, in the federal system, like, for instance, Joey Molino, they sent him to a halfway house in Florida, and now that's where he stayed. But imagine if they would have sent him to South Philly. Fabrizio, he's a made guy.
Well, like Mousy Massimino, I know they sent him to Philadelphia.
Did they?
Yeah, I think it's really just about like availability. There's only so many rooms in those buildings,
I guess so. Yeah, Fabrizio's out now, Miss Campbell. You think what?
No, I was saying I think it's really just probably like an availability thing. I mean, there's only so much room in those buildings,
Well, yeah, but wouldn't you agree that it's the worst idea possible to let, say, Fabrizio back out, and they let him out in Brooklyn?
Yeah, it's like making the mistake of like putting an informant in like a USP. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
they
it'd
did
be
with,
like, you know what it's like? It's like, you know, these halfway houses here, they're
man.
filled with nonviolent drug offenders for the most part, right? But they're all in neighborhoods where fucking the halfway house is right next door to a trap house. You know, there's heroin being sold, you know, all over the fucking block. Like it's like putting Fabrizio back in Brooklyn is like asking him, go back to your old ways, please. Maybe that's what they want. I don't know. You know, maybe they want to catch him talking to some old friends. You know, I'm not sure. But Anthony Center would be even crazier because he's a, you know, one of the most prolific mob killers, I think, of the 80s. You know what I'm
I guess
saying?
when you look at Center, it's like I don't know. I mean, he's 70 years old almost. Look, I've often said I think when you cross a certain age, and again, it's case to case, but I think 90% of people over the age of 80 to have them in prison, I think is a complete waste of resources, unless they are a, you know, convicted sex offender or a someone like Center, you know, like a violent murderer, you know. Yeah. But I'd love to know. I'd love to speak to his lawyer.
Well, give it a shot. Maybe you can, you know.
I wonder who his lawyer is.
I don't know.
And again, like, wouldn't that mean that Center or Testa would you know get
yes, yeah, that's what they were. See, now I'm going to tell you the truth, and I think you're in the same boat. I don't know that case inside and out, so maybe Testa was convicted of things Center wasn't. But I thought that they were convicted of the same crimes because they did everything together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but maybe there is something. Maybe fucking Testa was convicted of 2 more murders than or Testa was convicted of 2 more murders than Center. You know, who knows? Or 1 or 3 or 10. I mean, or maybe there's one specific one that you know you know where Testa is. You know,
but it's still
he got life
again,
in it. They're not going to change it.
We're not talking about one murder that he may or may not have committed. It's like it's dozens.
Yeah.
It's like saying like Vinny Basciano might get out. It's like, well, yeah, if he beats this murder, like he still has another murder. Like,
yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I wish I did, but I don't know how many murders they were convicted of. I was looking into the case real deep, like a while ago when I heard about him getting out, because I was trying to find out. I'm going to give you an example. They were not convicted of the Vladimir Reznikov hit, I don't think.
Yeah.
And this is what I was told. I forgot about this. They said that because the Vladimir Reznikov thing was told by gas pipe, I think, for the first time. But they said that Center was grandfathered in because his murders took place before 1982. And then my argument was, wait a minute, they killed Reznikov in 95, but then I don't think they got convicted of that. So grandfathered into the federal parole. I'm sorry, I didn't finish my. They said he was grandfathered into the federal parole system because his crimes were committed before 1982. But I don't know if that's true because they got convicted in 88 of all this shit. So you know, I don't know if that's the case, but maybe that's it, that he was up for parole.
Yeah, I was always thought that it was like almost a dozen murders. Like that's, and again, life means life. They didn't plead for 40 years. They pled to like life is life. They got life. They don't just come to you and say, hey, you know, we kind of feel like letting you out. Let's let you out, you know?
Yeah.
Very bizarre.
It is. Arthur Stewell, I don't know. That's kind of what we're discussing. You know, I'm not certainly no expert on that case. I don't know.
I'll tell you some of the murders we know they were involved in, or
yeah.
At least we think we know. Ruby Stein, I believe. Mickey Spillane. Who else? That Sherry Golden.
DeMayo.
Yeah. DeMayo, right?
Reznikov.
Yep, they killed that sex offender guy, supposedly the guy that essayed the Lucchese Associates' nephew. They were going for that. Andre Katz, that was the first murder they committed as a group.
Oh, here, look, May BBB. They were both sentenced on 10 counts of murder.
There you go.
How the fuck do you let? Okay, now it's even. How do you let somebody out who killed 10 fucking people unless he gave you some unbelievably valuable information? And like we said earlier, Jeff, you know, I highly doubt that, because chances are, now don't get me wrong, all of these mob guys probably have information that hasn't been told yet. Maybe it's very possible that he knows about some murders that haven't been solved yet. But I don't think
Again,
I don't think he told on anybody. I don't think.
Why now though?
I know.
And like what? Like who would he? They're all dead or gone. Like who's he going to talk about? What's he going to talk about? Oh, I know who killed Paul Castellano. Like who? He's dead. We already. I feel like I don't think the government wants that case unearthed. They feel like they have the people.
Yeah, I don't think him flipping is an option in this situation. I'm just puzzled, man, because 10 fucking counts of murder, and you weren't just some regular guy. You were a fucking mafia member, you know? And,
yeah.
And they hate more than anything the federal government, Italian fucking gangsters, you know? Members of organized crime.
The question I have is, when it comes to Santa and Testa, were they? And again, I guess I never really truly looked into this, but
I already know what you're going to ask, and I'm not sure.
Are they made?
That's yeah.
I don't believe. Positive. I guess maybe they were made under the Lucchese family, but yeah, they were. So they were inducted into Lucchese's in '88, but they weren't inducted in. Yeah, they weren't inducted into the Gambino crime family. I know that.
No, I honestly don't think they were made, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, according to where I'm looking, they were made in '88. In Amuso, Casso.
Amuso and Casso
made them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right before they went in.
88, but wait a minute. I thought they were. Wait a minute. I thought they got picked up on their crimes and shit in 85 or 86, and they were locked up until trial. I thought.
From what I see, it was mid to late 88 in Canarsie. And that comes from Al Diarca, who was at the ceremony.
Well,
so they were 33 when they got made.
Yeah, they were young. So Amuso and Gaspipe made them. That makes sense, I guess. It's just the timeline seems weird. I don't know, because they got convicted. Wait a minute. I think they got convicted in 88, right? Or was it 89?
89.
So that happened pretty quickly. You get made and boom, within a year, you're fucking,
I guess it was probably a quick thing, but I will ask you: have you seen that new DeMeo film?
No, bro. Should I watch it? Tell me the truth. I'll watch it tonight.
I gotta be honest. Look, the cop thing is kind of weird. Like it's again very like a something they created to make it cool and all, but I thought it was quite good. Other than that, it was factual for sure. I mean, other than the main storyline being that there was a cop involved with bringing them down, which that never happened. But
so it isn't so much about the cop as it is the DeMeo crew.
No, it's about the DeMeo crew. That's the main, like the guy's like down on his luck, this cop guy, and he starts befriending Chris Rosenberg, and he starts killing people with them, and then it's all right. Is
the character Chris Rosenberg, or are they using somebody else, and only people like us would know that that's who it's supposed to be?
No, I thought they did a great job with the casting for the most part.
Okay,
they did I thought it was pretty good. It's not the greatest movie of all time.
What about David Schwimmer playing Chris Rosenberg and the fucking Iceman?
See, I've never seen that movie. The Iceman story is so bizarre and
no. You should see that, bro. That movie's fucking great, bro.
Is it really? Yeah,
fantastic. But David Schwimmer as Chris Rosenberg it's one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever seen. But what was the name of this DeMeo movie again? Because I looked it up on Amazon Prime. Inside Man.
It's a stupid name.
I keep seeing that on Prime. Yeah.
It's a dumb.
I'll watch it tonight.
Dumb name for a film, because there's already an Inside Man movie, Denzel Washington.
Well, and it doesn't tell you what the movie's about. I never understood titles like that. Like, what is that? You wouldn't know.
Supposedly, it was originally called like the Gemini Lounge, but they didn't call it that.
There you go. Yeah.
Now, one thing I found interesting about the film, and you'll notice this: the only people they do not reference as their real names are Senta and Testa.
Really?
Because they're the only ones still alive, and they don't want to pay them. And I've learned that about.
Well, I thought once you're convicted of a crime, people could use your fucking name for whatever they want.
Because if you notice, like in Donnie Brasco, there were certain people they didn't use. Like they didn't bring in Joe Messina because Joe Messina was still alive. Like they don't want to pay them. And if you use someone's naming rights, you have to pay them. So they don't want to pay Testa and Senta. So I think they call him like, I forget what they call him, but yeah,
I think so, Captain Downtown Rosenstein. Yeah, go ahead, bro. Sorry.
yeah, it's an average film. I think it's worth a watch. You know?
Yeah. Maybe I'll check it out tonight. Yeah, Fabrizio, Jimmy. Yeah, he got made and then banged prison 30 years. This is the thing that's fucked up too about Fabrizio is that the reason he got so much time was for the Jack Sharon murder, and he had nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
he was just he was in the car, but nobody knew Calco was going to get out and kill Jack Sharon, and they took off on him.
One
They
message.
took off. They left him.
I never got to ask him this because he never agreed to do it with me. But one question that I always had for Calandra was, I've heard him say on multiple, even on your show, I believe, he's made this comment that if Spiro and Benanti came to him and said, "You need to kill Galino," he would have said that he wasn't going to do it. And I would ask him, first of all, you wanted to be a mobster. That was your goal. That's why all of you were doing what you were doing. How on earth would you say no to him? They would kill you. Like, I don't.
A lot of people have that opinion, and just because Jimmy's my friend and shit, I'm not gonna. I don't know.
I think it's an interesting question.
I mean, the question is legit because obviously everybody in that crew, they all, even Jimmy said it. Their dream was to get their button.
Yeah,
and not only that, but you got to remember that if somebody tells you got to kill somebody, for example, and you don't, like if Spiro would have said, Jimmy, you got to kill Paulie, and he didn't do it, they both would have got killed.
Right. He was like, well, I would have told him just like leave. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you would have been in great danger,
Yeah.
But
he would have had to leave too.
Yeah, yeah. Those guys are quite interesting,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd give it a watch. I don't know. Maybe you'll think it's corny. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll watch it tonight. Fuck it. I'm always fucking searching for movies. I'll watch it tonight. Inside Man. The Gemini Lounge is now like a Baptist church. It is. And the movie was supposed to be called that because I think if you Google, I'm going to do it right now, the Gemini Lounge movie, you get Inside Man. Yep, Gemini Lounge movie, Inside Man 2023 film. Yep. So
yeah, it's really a stupid title. It really is.
Yeah.
Really?
Because nobody would even know that that's a fucking mob movie. You wouldn't even fucking know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I know. And again, like there also is a movie called that already.
Yeah.
It's just but I thought, it's about as good as you're gonna get now with mob films per se.
I know, but there's so many that should be. Is it true that Sylvester Stallone was supposed to play Greg Scarpa?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Which why aren't they
terrible?
I
think he's brutal as an actor. Like Rocky, that's it. Like no interest in anything else.
Yeah, I guess. Lockup was great.
Like Tulsa King was terrible.
Yeah, but I think it's supposed to be more satire than anything because it's ridiculous.
Is it? Yeah, I didn't get.
I think, and that's like his last hurrah. I think Stallone. But
I had also heard this was something I'd heard as well that they were considering Channing Tatum for Greg Scarpa. Truthfully, no, I heard that. I'm not kidding.
But why though? I thought it makes sense.
That's just what I heard.
Stallone, I think, is like the same size. I think they're both like 5'10", and I could see them, making Stallone maybe look like Scarpa.
Yeah.
In Scarpa's older years, I don't know. But see, a movie like that needs to be made. There's a lot of movies that need to be made. I think there needs to be a real movie about the Philly guys, not fucking 10th and Wolf,
Well, that's a horrific movie. But Jason
Michael Imperioli play fucking Joey Molina.
Yeah. I've also said that I think if they ever did a mob cops film, Shrippa and Imperioli as Eppolito and Caracappa, I think that would be very good. Jason Mike says 100% right. You have to have like a psycho individual play Scarpa. Like Vincent D'Onofrio, that's I don't think he could. Vincent D'Onofrio was in Full Metal Jacket, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the I am in a world of shit. Yeah, that fucking
Leonard, what's his name? Movie. Pyle.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't realize that because it was so fucking long ago.
I think
Vincent
that could
D'Onofrio,
be.
go ahead.
Sorry. I was gonna say I think that could be one of the creepiest scenes in movie history, like over
Oh,
any horror film. Like
the way he fucking played that with that look in his face while he's staring at him with the, he's holding the rifle and he's just staring at the fucking what's his name? I forget the drill sergeant's fucking name. Yeah, that shit. Oh my god, it'll
the
give you
music
fucking
is also haunting.
yeah. It'll
Like
give you the
drop,
chills.
is
Like
it? It's like a drip drop type of thing.
yeah,
By the way, have you
but the
seen any
way
of his videos?
huh?
Have you seen any of his videos recently?
Who?
Drip drop.
Yeah, I only watched the Idaho murder
He
ones,
hasn't
and
done
I
it.
think I watched one about the fucking Delphi murders. What do you know about the Delphi murders, bro? Do you
Not
think
much.
Richard Allen is guilty?
Not much. I can't even talk about it enough to comment on it. I'd have to look into it, honestly.
It's very interesting. Yeah, he is Jason Mikesell, very famous. It's
He
the,
died, right? That guy,
who the
the
drill
real
instructor
actor.
from yeah, he's dead. But what were we talking about just now? What the fuck?
Delphi.
Oh yeah. So Richard Allen is a guy they got. The little one of the little girls took a picture right before they were killed of a guy walking that trail, and this guy fits the description. He even admitted to wearing clothes that were similar to the guy in the picture. He spent 2.5 hours that day, the day the girls were murdered, on the fucking trail. He confessed to his wife on the phone, but now the whole cult of Odin thing is
Yeah, I've
being
seen
used
that.
by the defense. And it's very crazy because two of the COs, at least two of them, wear this cult of Odin, this whatever kind of symbolism it is, on their fucking uniforms. They're actually allowed to. They admit to it. It's their religion. Okay. And now Richard Allen is saying that they basically forced him to confess over the phone to his wife because the cult of Odin is being blamed now. So it's really a fucking
Well,
crazy case.
the reason I brought up Drip Drop is he did a video on that same topic, Cult of Odin, with Koberger.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he has certain videos that are like pretty good, where like he makes some valiant points, but
And some of them are just bonkers.
yeah, some of them are just like, dude, you spend way too much time in that stupid mask that you wear.
Bro, I told you there was one point where he was trying to say that Brian Koberger might have parachuted onto the third floor balcony, and that's how he got Kaylee and Maddie first.
He also
really said that.
He also made a point at one time to say that, when you think about it, it's like how they would. He made it clear that he thought that Koberger might have been the DoorDash driver, and was being like,
oh yeah. He still says that. He's saying now that he thinks Bethany is the one that, because he thinks the exculpatory evidence that Bethany has is that she was the person who got the food from the DoorDash driver.
I actually believe that. I believe that Bethany Funk is the difference in the case. I've said that.
I'm starting to think so too.
Like, I think she may have known Koberger. Like, I think she could probably beyond a reasonable doubt prove that he was nowhere near the house that night.
Well, it's odd because his Instagram, and this is before any fake ones were made and people knew about him and shit. Like, I'm talking about within fucking minutes of them announcing that he was the suspect, I went on fucking Instagram and I checked, and his real Instagram, he was following all his relatives, and in order, like he had Kaylee and Maddie. He wasn't following any of the other ones, but he was following them.
But let me ask you: does that matter at all? Like,
well,
let's say someone's killed that I know, just because I'm following them, does that mean I did it? Like,
no, but what it proves is that you knew who they were, and guys.
Because I've heard the family say that they didn't know, all the lawyers even have said they didn't know each other at all.
No. They might not have known each other, but he knew of them. So, the argument gets made that he didn't even know of them. So how could he be stalking them and all that shit? But he did know of Kaylee and Maddie. And they still think that the obsession he had was with Maddie,
I'll keep saying, from what we know, it's an incredibly weak case.
Oh, there's no question.
Like, just super weak. And I'll tell you what, look, I feel for the guy. Like, I feel really horrific for him. but the Steve Goncalves needs to stop talking to the
He's
media.
fucking everything
Like,
up.
like there's a gag order on the case, man. Like, what do you
I
not
know.
understand about that?
Yeah, I understand his frustration and wanting to speak out, but he's not helping the situation. You
But
know,
there was some guy on Twitter that said when I guess he did an interview recently, and like this one guy wrote, Steve Goncalves will not allow Brian Kogover to walk out of court. He will either go to jail or be killed. And it's like, what? Like, what are you trying to say here? Like,
yeah, no.
that Stephen Goncalves is going to kill Koberger if he gets off? Like,
There's
what?
no way he couldn't possibly. Koberger's going to be every fucking time he comes to the courthouse. He's probably surrounded with a vest on. You know, he's probably surrounded by fucking marshals or so, or at least state police or
Yeah,
something. with a
he made
fucking
it sound
vest
like he's
on.
going to like Jack Ruby, Lee Harvey Oswald. It's like,
Some fucking what was that movie? A Time to Kill. Some shit.
oh
like that.
yeah, right, Samuel Jack. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I mean, answer this though. What do you think the thesis statement and the paper that Koberger will write? Let's say he gets off on this, right?
Oh my god!
Like he'll be like literally a top, like, I mean, he'll be on top of the world.
Yeah, yeah, but you know. What do you think? Let me just ask you, because I was going to say, you know, I don't know who else could be a suspect, but of course it could be anybody. What do you think about the Brent Kopaka thing?
Kopaka. Yeah, I think that's another point that Crime Circus makes. It's kind of interesting. It does seem fascinating that he just happens to die like several weeks after.
Do you think that, remember his sister, Koberger's supposed sister, made a post on social media saying that it was actually Brent Kopaka. Koberger was in the car with him. And Koberger was driving, Kopaka was in the passenger seat. Kopaka went in to do what he did to the girls, and Brian Koberger took off, but they were doing drugs together and blah blah blah. Do you believe any of that?
Listen, Chris, I'm just going to say this, okay? And if you actually look at the anatomy of the case, and I'm not going to say it on here because I don't want to get you demonetized or anything, but it is almost impossible for a regular person to do what they say Brian Koberger did in the time that he did it, to the amount of people who did it. It just doesn't. It's something where, to me, you have to have some sort of training to do, or you have to be, like, for instance, if you're a cartel hitman, you know how to cut people up, like you just do. But most people don't do that on a regular basis. To seamlessly walk into a home, you know, and it's just, I don't know. It's
physically exhausting to even do that to one fucking person. You know what I mean? People don't understand what shit, just a fight, just anything, you know, what it takes out of you, you know, even just a fucking fist fight or something.
And he did it in under 10 minutes, and he got literally not one drop of blood in his car, in his apartment, on him, nothing. And we're supposed to believe it was all done by the same guy. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even make sense.
Do you think, so you do think there's more than one person?
I'm not sure it's more than one person, but I'm sure that it's someone who has some sort of either military training.
Like Brent Kopaka, yeah.
Correct. Or it's multiple people, or it's someone who has, you know, killed other people.
Well, either way, Brent Kopaka is going to, you know, just the fact that he existed and died when he did, he's going to, you know, just the mere mention of him by the defense is going to add reasonable doubt. And that's bad for the fucking prosecution, you know, because the jury's going to say, well, maybe it was him. And I think that's why whoever that was that put that out, I don't know if that was really Koberger's sister, but I think it was put out there for that reason, to create reasonable doubt.
Yeah, I think that's why they do all this stuff. I mean, like you had people actually say, like, well, he's guilty. He was throwing out trash at his parents. And it's like, first of all, why the fuck would he do that 6 weeks after in Pennsylvania? Like, what? Like, some of the stuff, and the media has, I think, hurt this case too. Like, you just hear shit, and half it's fucking nonsense. And it just, you're right, it creates reasonable doubt. It creates just, and have you seen, like, the prosecutors? They look completely inept. Like, do they look like people that you want prosecuting this case?
Well, they don't even want to turn over the discovery, right?
No. Like, and again, like, I think if you actually think he's guilty, I just think you could be, like, mentally, like, touched in a way. Like, I just don't know how on earth you could think the guy's guilty. Like, just because he looks like it, like, what does that even mean? He looks like it. What does that mean?
Well,
How does
Brian
someone look
Koberger,
like him?
Brian Koberger Brian Koberger from head to toe physically looks like somebody who would do that shit. He's one of the
You
creepiest
really think
looking.
that? Interesting. I don't see
My
that.
God, bro, his eyes, everything. He's one of the creepiest looking motherfuckers, and that's
Really?
gonna hurt him too with the jury. You don't think
See,
so?
I find him. I think one of the smartest things Drip Drop ever said was, if you look at all of his court appearances, he seems like he's the only one in the room that knows he damn fucking didn't do it, and he's acting like he didn't do it. Look
But
at
he's
how-
also, he's an expert in this field, and he knows how to act. You know what I'm saying? He
I
knows
don't
how
know,
to
though,
act.
like, look at how he behaves with like the guards that bring him in. Have you ever seen a quadruple murderer treated like that?
I haven't even really watched much of
Look at the body
language.
language. They're like smiling and like saying hello to him and stuff. Like, it's super weird, bro. Like, he looks like he knows something we don't. And it seems like his lawyer is the only one that actually knows as well. And I'm telling you, that exculpatory evidence is going to, beyond a reasonable doubt, prove that he was not there. And what I think it is he was driving around with Bethany Funk. That's what I think. And that's why she didn't want to talk, because they're her friends, and they didn't want her to find out. And he's been framed for it. That's what I think.
But they were supposedly home, her and Dylan, by like 1:30 a.m.
Can we know that though?
Well,
Can we
I don't
believe
know.
anything Dylan Mortensen says? No. She'll never be put on the stand, dude. No way. That'd kill the case. You can't believe her. Because I would just say, well,
the
how do
fact
we
that
know
she
you
didn't
weren't
call the
drunk?
cops fucked her
Yeah,
up so bad.
It's crazy. I mean, you've been drunk. We've all been drunk. I mean,
A little bit.
yeah, but like, think about that. Like, there would be as drunk as I've been, there would be no reason that I would not call or do something if I had some reason to believe that I watched some random guy in my house. You would smell that shit. Like, you don't just go back to sleep. That's a crazy
Well,
thing.
didn't they find out now that Dylan and Bethany were texting each other during the murders, like during the whole event? Yeah, and they were
She
texting.
heard someone say, "I'm here to help you." Like, who was that?
I know.
You know?
They were texting each other. So that's another reason I think Bethany was home, because they found. Well, no, that was during the event. So I don't know. But the thing they won't say is, were they texting each other about that, or were they just texting each other about random shit? But how could they listen? That fucking the struggle that went on with each victim, you could see the way they were killed. The fucking just the destruction whoever did it did to them. There's no fucking way that they didn't hear a massacre going on and know that something really bad was happening.
This is why I also think it was a professional. Because if you're a professional, you know exactly where to stab someone where they're all asleep and it will kill them instantly. You would know that. Most people, like, if I asked you that, would you know?
Their jugular. That's about it.
But like, a lot of people wouldn't know that. They would just start like shoving it into you, a knife into you. No one actually. That's why I think a lot of this was like a professional. It was someone that knew what they were doing, and I think.
But how many professional killers do we hear about? I mean, isn't a professional killer kind of like a myth? I mean, I don't know.
When I say professional, I mean more of like, you have training that
people no,
like
I gotcha.
Military training, like again, and you can learn this from like fucking videos. Like, you can watch videos and how the human anatomy is, like how their heads were almost cut off, for Christ's sakes. You have to know how to do that. That's not something that just most people know how to do, and that's why like it doesn't. And maybe Koberger knew that kind of shit. I don't know, but what is Benny Diova talking about? What is that all about? I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
The girl that just purchased the new Range Rover, that's Kaylee, and she just got back from a trip to Texas. I think she came back with some products and didn't deliver. She is in college buying new. I don't know what you mean by products and.
Well, she could have had a sugar daddy, bro. We don't know.
Well, no, she was back with her parents. She wasn't living there anymore. And she bought the fucking the Range Rover, and she only went back that weekend to fucking show everybody her new her car and
Also,
to hang out with Maddie for the weekend. So I think that's also another coincidence. That's why I always thought this was about Kaylee. That's what I always thought.
I mean, look, I can get a Range Rover, let's say 21, or like even like a used Range Rover for 30,000-40,000. Like,
well, this is college girl. I mean, there's a good chance her family has a little bit of money, or at least could help her. And yeah, Range Rovers aren't like, it's not like she did not buy a brand new Range Rover. It was a used Range Rover.
She wasn't in a
for all we know, it had fucking 350,000 miles on it. It could have been fucking $6,000. We don't know. You know what I'm saying?
We start talking about, and look, I know we've talked about it at times on this on your show about like possibly like when it was first happening, like maybe her mother was Xana's mother was like a cartel, mule or something, and that's crazy. This is someone that definitely did this, and look, I think the Kobaka story is not crazy. I don't think that's that crazy.
I guess not.
But I mean, some of these news agencies, have you ever seen that Coffindorfer lady? I mean, she should be ashamed of herself the way she talks about this case. I mean, she thinks Koberger's guilty and she has no way to prove it, but she just keeps saying it.
Well, here's the thing. This is the question I'll pose to you. If this guy knows the answer, if Koberger's innocent, okay, and he knows who did it, for example, like if it's Brent Kopaka, or if if he had some fucking alibi, why have we not heard about it yet? I mean, there's no reason to believe that he wasn't driving around that area with his phone fucking turned off at the very time that murder took place. There's no reason not to believe that. I mean, bro, let me tell you something. Certain things, just the fact that his phone turned off right before the murders and turned back on right after, to me, there's no explaining that away. Who even turns their fucking phone off? If I turn my phone off, it's just to restart it. It takes 3 minutes. Who the fuck turns their phone off at the exact time of fucking quadruple murders taking place and then turns it right on or turns it back on right after? I mean, that to me is, I don't care if it's fucking circumstantial.
But
that
again,
is fucking a stunning piece of evidence.
I know though, but really the thing is, and whether or not you and I agree with you there, but the truth is, you cannot convict someone because of that. You just can't.
But we don't know. A jury could do whatever the fuck they want.
Right. But what we know is there's no video, there's no audio.
Yes.
There's nothing that puts him at that house. There's no witnesses, there's no weapon, nothing. There's a small microbe of DNA, of which we don't know it could have been placed there. We don't know that it was actually found.
But you got to admit, though, I mean, again, it was only a small sliver of DNA, I know, but that's still pretty damning. I mean, let me tell you something. If 4 people get killed in my community tonight, or 10 miles away, and my DNA, even a speck of it, is found on anything in that house, and I didn't have a reason for being there before the event took place, I'm going to jail for murder.
Right, but you'd have a case that it's not you. Let's say it was at a little old lady's house and she was the only one that lived there. You would be right. But this was a home crawling with people at all times, parties up a storm. And remember, read the probable cause affidavit. It clearly states in fucking complete English, the knife was found placed on the bed.
You mean the sheath?
Right. Define what placed means. Put in a particular position.
Yeah, but it also could have been dropped or thrown. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know that.
Right. But how do we know that knife hadn't been there for a while?
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Brian Koberger is not telling anybody why the fuck his DNA was on that knife sheath. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it'll come out at trial, but I would be, if I'm locked up and I'm fucking the most hated man in the country because I killed 4 beautiful college fucking students, trust me, if I have an excuse for why that sheath is there, it's going to be the first fucking thing I tell you. You know what I'm saying?
I think he's taken the whole thought of, I'm not saying fucking anything. I'm not saying if my name is Brian Koberger. You prove it. It's not my job. You prove it. And I think he's going to win because I don't think they can prove it. I think they're sitting on their hands. They don't know what to do. I think that Ann Taylor is a terrific lawyer. I think she knows exactly what's going on. And I think they are surely a favorite to win the case, and they're delaying it, and they're going to play hardball. This is his life, and they're not going to just serve it up. Did he actually do it? Again, I said it before. I don't know if we'll ever know. Just because you could do something, but it's not, doesn't matter if you did it or not. It's can they prove you did it or not? That's all that matters. So it's going to be a while till the trial happens. So, you know, and again, he'll have a case on why did you have me locked up for all this time? If he gets off, you know, he's going to be the poster child of, you know, wrongfully convicted or wrongfully accused.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. But you know, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But when is there a fucking trial date or what's going on?
No, I've heard 2025.
2025.
I mean, I'll ask you, and I know I'm sure you're going to wrap it up soon, but I'll ask you: is this the most compelling case since O.J. Simpson? I mean, you've had a couple, Murdaugh, Casey Anthony, Kyle Rittenhouse. I mean,
Jody Arias,
Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman, Jody Arias. You know, there's been a lot, but I mean, this is quite compelling.
It is, without a doubt. And you know, listen, let me tell you, if this was 4 black people in the hood that got killed, we would have never fucking heard about it. But you can't kill beautiful white people, okay? Fucking.
Well, it's like in The Wire in season 5, the woman writes the article about 3 people being killed, and the guy goes, "They're dead where it doesn't count. If they were murdered in Timonium, you'd have your front page, but they were killed in Baltimore. No one gives a shit, you know." That's the sad truth, you know. But Murdaugh's going to beat that case. That Murdaugh guy, he's going to beat that case.
That's one case that I just can't get into, bro. I just can't.
Oh, bro, did you ever watch the documentary?
I tried to, bro, but I just don't care.
That's amazing because it's quite an interesting case.
Yeah, I know. Gunsmoke was all into it and telling me about it, and it's like I tried, man, but I just couldn't. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get into it.
They're definitely low life, some of them people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everything's different with true crime. Some stuff's interesting, some stuff's not, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. And that's why I think, you know, I think the Murdaugh case doesn't interest me because I couldn't give a fuck about them or people like them. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like uppity white people. Yeah.
Yeah, and fucking rednecks, and I'm not. You know, I don't give a fuck about a Southern family, what they're doing. And it's no offense to Southern families.
I think the reason it was so popular is
what I take interest in.
They were just really powerful people in that area.
Yeah. I mean, again, even the Idaho murders, you know, if those girls looked like,
Sorry, I hit something by accident.
Oh, if those girls didn't look the way they fucking did, and this is the honest to God truth, and you know it, even if they were still 4 white college kids in Idaho or whatever, Idaho, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Idaho. Yeah, of course, Idaho murdered. My bad. I had a little Biden moment. Even if you know, if they didn't look the way they did, it still wouldn't. There's sex appeal to this fucking case.
Well,
period.
I mean, let's shove this. I mean, people get kidnapped in this country or go missing all the time. Remember when we were younger that Natalie Holloway went missing or whatever, the blonde girl in like Aruba or whatever?
Beautiful blonde American girl. Yeah, that's why that was a
Ramsey, you know, little child, beauty queen, you know. I mean, kids go missing all the time, you know. Some we don't care and some we care about.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's all about you know, each victim is not equal. You know what I'm saying? Victims in general are not equal. You know, the way the media does things and the attention law enforcement and everything gives to these crimes depends on who the fuck it was, who was the victim. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. So this has everything, this fucking case, you know, and the fact that those were, you know, 3 pretty fucking gorgeous girls, you know, it brings that to this fucking case. People are just interested. That's what. Even I do that. Do you know that when I look for like true crime cases, I want to see a hot chick. I want to fucking know. Seriously, I swear to God, like I can't help myself. Even like the other day, I was looking at stalker cases. And I didn't want to see a single one unless the girl being stalked was super fucking hot. And
That's so interesting you say that, because like when I look into like cases involving true crime, like I prefer, like, for instance, I don't know if you've ever heard about this case, but there's a case being prosecuted currently in England about these 9 men. They're all gay men.
Mm-hmm.
They had essentially a pay-per-view. Do you know what an Enoch master is? Do you know what that means?
I have no idea.
An Enoch master is someone who does surgeries on people, but he's not a doctor. And these people have this sexual proclivity where they find men that want to have body modifications done. And these 9 guys committed castrations on video and pay-per-viewed it and streamed it to like 70,000 people. They had paying like 200,000 paying people. And like I like shit like that, like these depraved like serial like people that kill like 60 people. Like I like shit like that. Like co-eds being kidnapped, I don't find interesting at all.
Yeah.
But like people that like live stream castrations, like who the fuck would do that? Like that stuff's interesting to me, you know?
That is crazy. I never heard about that. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I like gory fucking weird shit.
That's like some Kevorkian shit almost. Like, the people are,
Well, the difference these people is they want it to be done.
But that's Kevorkian, now these people aren't killing people, but Kevorkian, he didn't kill anybody against their will. They wanted him to, you know what I mean? They assisted suicide. So it's kind of the same type of thing. It doesn't matter, it's just like if you came to me tonight, Jeff, and said, I want to die, kill me. If I kill you, it doesn't matter that you fucking wanted it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be right back. I got to grab cigarette.
Yeah, all good. I will ask, like, have you guys ever heard the Arvin Maives case? He was this German guy that he wanted to kill someone willingly. Like he wanted to find someone that willingly wanted to be killed, and he butchered them. He butchered a guy and ate him. It was a wild story. It's a very, very big story. No, I don't have a castration fetish. No, I think it's fucking brutal. I love my penis. No, I find like stuff like that interesting. No, I just find it interesting that people pay for that type of stuff. Like, I think these people made like $200,000 a year doing that.
We got Jeff Nadu on video saying, "I love my penis."
No, I like I do, but
I'm pretty fond of mine too.
Yeah. Like there was a website back in the day called Cannibal Cafe. It was a legitimate website where you could like look for people to willingly kill and eat. Like it was a legit website. It's still up now. Look it up. Cannibal Cafe. It's still around. Yeah, there's very weird people out there.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. All right, bro. Listen, I think I'm gonna wrap it up, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, I actually am gonna do a show at 9:50. I haven't been on live in a while, so I'm gonna go on.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's weird. It's so fucking early. I feel like it should be midnight. I've been on for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I keep forgetting how early I started. Yeah, I'll be
very early.
Yeah, I'll be watching your shit, bro. I'll be there. So everybody go over to Jeff's fucking 20 minutes. Jeff will be on.
By the way, Chris, I'm gonna send you that Discord thing. You gotta check that out.
Yeah, please do, bro. I gotta look at this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna watch Inside Man tonight.
Yeah, let me know what you think of it.
All right, bro.
All right, see ya, bro. Take it easy.
Peace. All right, guys, there you go. A lot of mob talk, a lot of true crime talk. That's what I like. This is what I like. I love this. It's way more positive and, nobody's getting hurt. There's no verbal destruction or anything else. So more of that shit. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you guys, everybody who donated. Shinebox, Hey Now, Danny Green, Sally. Oh, there she is. Antonino, Danny Green again, Sally again, and of course, Stephen Cordell, Cat D and OC. Thank you guys very, very much. I appreciate you. I'm out of here. Even now, we got 156 people. We had between this and 200, or close to 200 the whole fucking time. So, not bad, right? Proving my point. Thank you guys for being here with me. I appreciate it. I love you all. And until next time, salute.